Welcome, everybody. And today we posted on our community for you guys to post your questions so that we can just take a moment and answer all your questions. And so it's going to be fun, it's going to be amazing, and it was the best live ever.
Absolutely.
Speaking from the end. So I just want to take this opportunity to remind you guys that you are the operant power. You are the operant power. What this means is that you create your own reality. Now, I know that some people ask themselves, does the law actually work? Does this stuff actually work? Because if you believe that you are the operant power and you believe, so first of all, what does it mean to be the operant power? Well, it means that you have the power to create your own reality. So in other words, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you, right? So whatever you say goes. Now you make the rules in this thing we call life. Now you see, very important to remember as well is that your life is actually governed by your self-concept. So the way you see yourself at the moment is how you experience your life. So if you have a self-concept of abundance, your life will be abundant. If you have a self-concept of lack, your life is going to be filled with lack. And what is self-concept? Self-concept is just your personality, it's your identity, it's who you perceive yourself to be, it's what you believe to be true about yourself. So, you have to ask yourself, what do I believe to be true about myself? Now, if you are not happy with your current life, you can just change how and what you believe to be true about yourself. Can you see how powerful this is? How the whole concept of you are the operant power now actually comes together? Because by meaning you are the operant power, it means that you have the power to transform your life right now. So if you're not happy with what's happening in your life, you can transform it right now. So how do you do it? You just be clear. You have to be very clear. What do you want? What do you want? What flavor ice cream do you want? What a meal do you want? What do you really, really want? What makes you excited? What makes you smile? What actually makes you get up? What gives you those excitement juices for life? And it just makes you go like, ooh, man, what is that thing that makes you feel alive? What is that one thing? What is that? So now that you're clear what that is, believe that you already have it. Just accept that you already have it. So for example, I have a business and I want to manifest $50,000 in my business. I have to accept that my business is now generating $50,000 a month. And now I have to live from that new acceptance. So I said, oh, isn't it wonderful now that my business is generating $50,000 a month? It's so awesome. I mean, I've been so busy, clients been giving me so much feedback. I'm getting all this awesome, success stories, testimonials. All my clients always recommend us to their family and friends. It's just so wonderful. Whenever I wake up, there's a new client. Clients always contact me. They're like, "Oh man, I can't wait to become part of your business." You see what I did there? I'm now living from the end of me earning $50,000. So that's my news story. So what do? I saturate my mind with this news story. And what I mean by saturate my mind with this news story is you have to make sure that it now becomes your dominant way of thinking. It has to become your dominant thoughts. Because if you do not saturate your mind with the new story, you're still going to experience the old story. Let's just say, for example, maybe the old story was lack. Then you're still going to experience lack in your life. But if you saturate your mind with the new story of abundance and now earning $50,000 and you keep at it. So remember, you have to be all in. You cannot be 50 in, 50 out, because then you're going to get, a little bit results. You're going to get results here and results there. You have to be all in. You know that there's been a moment in your life where you went all in. You went all in. There was that one thing that you wanted. And you just told yourself, you know what? I'm no longer going to play games. I'm going to go all in. I'm going to go all out. Same thing with manifestation. So sometimes with manifestation, we treat it like a part-time thing. No, you've always been manifesting. You've always been manifesting. So that's why when you're trying to manifest your desires, you have to be all in. Because remember, you're changing states. You're changing your mindset. You're changing how you see yourself, right? If you've seen yourself as a person that is not worthy of earning $100,000 early on, if you've seen yourself like that, then you have to change that. You have to change how you see yourself, and you say that, I am worthy of earning millions of dollars.
Yeah, I think there's a few things. Again, I hope, same as last time, I hope I can remember everything that I want to say. But I think the first thing is just when it goes back to self-concept, where it's not just what do you want. Okay, so you're clear on what you want. Now live as though you have it, but live as though you are it. Live as though you are the wealthy person. You are that healthy person. You are the successful business owner. You are that married man. You are that person, right? Because that comes more back to you. How do you live? How do you act? Yes, it's in regards to maybe that thing you want, but at the end of the day, it goes back to who are you as that person who has it? Who are you as the lottery winner? Who are you as the person who has all of their desires already? And it's embodying that. How do you think? How do you feel? How do you act now? That is who you are. That is your new identity in a way. And I think the other point I wanted to make is that it doesn't necessarily have to be these like material things that we're trying to manifest. Like what brings you joy, what brings you this? And some people say, oh, like my family. Well, that's great. So you can manifest, peace and harmony in your family if maybe that doesn't exist as yet. Or, it could be a relationship you already have, but you want to make it even better. And so, for us, every day we always manifest endless bliss in our marriage and in our friendship and partnership. So it's not just material things. People ask us we always say what brings you joy? What gives you life? And sometimes people, they don't say a material good. Instead, they say something that's more qualitative.
Yeah.
And we say, okay, perfect. So you can still manifest that. It's still that same process. You become the person who has a blissful marriage. You become the person that has that perfect health. You become that person that has a loving, perfectly unified family, whatever it is that you desire for your life holistically. And I think the other thing is also just in terms of one of the questions that I saw there, and it just when it comes to manifestation, we always say, the how is not our business. So when we manifest wealth, or you want to manifest a thriving business, you say, okay, you become that successful business owner instead of trying to figure out, how do I make myself a successful business owner? You think that way, you feel that way instantly. You allow yourself to develop into that person before it even manifests. Because that way the how can surprise you.
Yeah.
And it's more enjoyable. And so sometimes when people say, oh, I want to win the lottery, it's like, all right, but what if you can manifest millions in another way? What if millions are knocking on your door, but you're just like, nope, lottery, that's all I want.
You limit yourself.
Yes, you limit the way that, God, universe, consciousness, whatever you want to call it, is going to dance through you and allow these things to unfold. And so I think in some ways, we don't want to be like, I want to manifest a car from this place. It's like, but what if the car's going to come from there? Or I'm going to manifest money only in my business. Okay, but what if money's going to come through a relative, or you're going to find it or stumble across it, or, so I think in that way it's more fun to allow the how, the unfolding, to be that mystery, and you just focus on becoming that person who has millions now.
Yeah.
Or you focus on that person who has perfect health, however perfect health is going to come to you. You just know, I'm perfectly healthy. And you watch that unfold before you.
Yeah, for sure. No, thanks for sharing, baby. As Neville Goddard, shared with us that you just have to go to the end. Don't worry about the how. Don't mess with the middle. Just go right to the end. So you want perfect health. Oh yeah, okay. So just accept that you now have perfect health. You don't have to worry how that's going to unfold, because the how is such an awesome, beautiful, mysterious surprise.
Yeah.
Even though you a master manifester, you know when your manifestations unfold, it always surprises you. It always surprises you. Irrespective of the thousands of manifestations that you've already manifested, but whenever you manifest anything deliberately, consciously, and it shows up, you're like, whoa. It always catches you by surprise. It always catches you by surprise, because we know that we are not only the name and the body and the thoughts and the feelings, but we are the awareness or consciousness or the I am or God or universe or higher self, whatever you want to call it, having a human experience, right? So now the human part of us, the human experience, is always in awe. It always gets surprised. It's always like, oh wow, have you seen that? Oh man, have you seen that manifestation? Oh man. Like, we always like just so surprised, like, oh baby, have you seen how that unfolded? Have you seen how that manifested? It's like, even though it's already a done deal.
Yeah.
Now we all know the movie. Everybody knows Batman already won. But you don't know how the movie unfolds. It's all these different scenes, bridge of events that just unfolds in such a beautiful, perfect, miraculous way. And it's like, whoa. That's why you want to celebrate each and every moment. You see, because life is a game. It's not meant to be taken seriously. So if you're going to take life serious, you're going to miss out on the game. The game is for you to celebrate every single moment for what it is. Just celebrate this moment right now for what it is. Be here right now for what it is, And it's such a beautiful thing. And now we have this superpowers within us to be able to manifest any desire that we want. And it's simple and it's also easy, but we complicate it, because all we need to do is just accept that we have it right now, or accept that we are it right now, and then just now remain faithful to that new acceptance, this new assumption, this new story. You just remain faithful every single day. You saturate your mind, irrespective of what the 3D tells you. You remain faithful to it, and then your manifestation then shows up.
Yeah, I love that analogy of like, those movies, like any superhero movie, the superhero is gonna win. Or if you watch any like kids movie or Disney movie, they live happily ever after. You know that, and yet you still watch the movie. There's still the excitement, the drama, the adventure. You still watch it because you don't know how it's going to happen. And as Gabriel said, that's the fun part.
Yeah.
Because that's the part that's usually stressful for people. Is especially if they're not manifesting, they're like, okay, I'm going to have a successful business. And now they're striving and trying and figuring out and this and it fails and that because they're working so hard, and that's what's stressful. Or even if you are manifesting, maybe you're trying to manifest a partner. And so you're like, okay, this is the person I want, cool. And then you start to see things not going maybe according to plan. So you're like, man, it's not happening, and that's getting you all stressed out. If you let go of the how, you let go of the stress.
Yeah.
You say, okay, I know I'm already blissfully married, so now I'm going to watch how is this going to unfold right before me. I know I'm very wealthy. I know I'm perfectly healthy. I'm going to see how this unfolds. I know I'm already driving that specific car. I'm just going to sit back and watch how this is going to unfold because I know it's done.
Yeah.
So let's watch the movie of my life unfold and bring it to me. And that's where it's just, there's so much less stress, less anxiety when it comes to viewing it that way. I think it's our human nature to try to figure it out and to try to control it. But if you can kind of step back and detach yourself from that how and detach yourself from the control of manifestation, that's when you can just allow things to go. I mean, I know when it came to my visa situation, my original visa got revoked. And yet we said, you know what? No. I know that I left South Africa, got a visa, and I came back.
Yeah, that implies that everything.
We said, okay, cool. Exactly. It implied that, all right, I'm back in South Africa, cool. I didn't know how. I didn't know when, but I just knew it was going to work out that way. And it went so smoothly, I didn't even have to pay for my visa.
Yeah.
Like, I had the money, and I gave it to the lady at the desk. She said, no, I don't need it. I thought, what? Everywhere says you need to pay and the exact amounts and all these things. And I didn't even have to pay for this visa. And it was just amazing just to watch this whole series unfold of like...
Beautiful.
Everything
the fact
worked
that you
out.
didn't even have to pay.
Yes.
Because we said everything worked out perfectly fine.
Yes.
Perfectly fine. That word, perfectly fine.
And I mean, now we're back.
No, now we're back in South Africa.
Perfectly fine.
And I also want to share, a couple of experiences with you guys so that you can see that it is actually, possible. So the first one is because I know that a lot of people are, always emailing us and commenting on our videos and asking about manifesting true love and manifesting the SP, right? So, there was a time in my life where, or let me just rather say that I think like a year before I manifested Kylie, I told myself, you know what, I'm just gonna be single, and I think it's just better, for me to be single and stuff like that. But when I started working on myself, going on this bliss journey and really embodying the state of bliss, and it was so amazing that year that I was really kind of just, working myself. And I was like, no, I want to share this with someone. I actually want to share this with someone. And then I decided, you know what? Okay, I'm ready now to manifest my SP. And then I just made time, and I took a piece of paper. I wrote down what I wanted in a woman, and I wrote down all the qualities and stuff. And then my state was blissfully married. So I shifted into the state of being blissfully married. So that implies that my wife is blissful and I'm also blissful, right? So, and I assumed that state, obviously went in imagination, activated it, assumed it, boom, done. And then afterwards I remain faithful to my new blissfully married state. So every single day, I saturated my mind with this, state of now being blissfully married. So my 3D obviously told me that no, you're not. Don't talk crap. And my mind and thoughts also said, no, don't crap. You're not blissfully married. But because I understood that I am the operant power, so whatever I say goes. So when my 3D said, oh no, blah blah blah, you're not married, I knew that was still the old story. That was still the old story playing out. So I knew that because I saw when the 3D actually showed me all this data, I'm like, okay, cool. I actually took it as a blessing because I knew that I still had to continue. And I just kept at it, saturating my mind every single day. Of course, sometimes I did waver. I wavered, but then I don't stay there. I don't stay in the state of the old state. I didn't stay there. I just, brought myself back. And I was like, no, I am blissfully married. And everybody knows. My mom knows, my sisters knows, and my friends knows. I am blissfully married. And I just kept at it every single day. But as Neville Goddard said, you have to infuse yourself with that state. You have to infuse yourself. In other words, you have to embody the state. What I did, I involved my wife in my daily activities, even though she wasn't there. I would eat, and when she comes to my mind, I would see her have the meal with me. I would go to restaurants alone, and I would see my wife is with me at the restaurant and us cheersing to endless bliss. I would go on hikes alone, and I would see my wife is there, or going on hikes maybe. I would go on walks on the beach and watch the sunset alone, but in my mind's eye, or shall I say my first eye, the imagination, my real self, I saw that my wife was with me. I became the state. I infused myself with the state. I totally embodied myself with the state. And there was a stage where I was like, of course, yeah, it's a done deal. Of course, because the new story now basically took form. The new story was like, okay, you won. Congrats, you did not waver. You did not back down. You won. So we'll give you what you want. And then my wifey showed up 3.5 months later, man. 3.5 months later she showed up. And I knew it was her because it was everything on my list. It was everything on my list and more. As I always say that I won the lottery and I won the jackpot with this beautiful woman. It's so beautiful. Now here's the thing, guys. If it can happen to me, and to our clients as well, it can happen to you guys as well.
And to me.
Of course, and to you as well. It doesn't even, I think the most challenging part for some of the people is to remain faithful. That's why with our new coaching program, it's called Live from the End and accountability coaching and stuff like that. And most of the clients that we're working with now, they tell us that, you know what? I now realize that I wasn't remaining faithful. I was wavering. I was in and out, watching, going from YouTube video to YouTube video, technique to technique, and coach to coach. And it's really simple. It's you just remaining faithful to your new story without wavering. You have to remain faithful. Really ask yourself, how bad do you want it? How bad do you want it? Is it 10%, 100%, million%, or billion%, or trillion%? How bad do you want it? There's been stuff that you wanted in your life that you just went all in. You went all in and you committed yourself. The same thing with manifestation. You have to be all in. You can't be 1 foot out, 1 foot in. Otherwise, you're going to frustrate yourself. You're going to just make it hard for yourself. You're going to, because I've been there, been so, there's been times that I was so anxious, so depressed, where I just curled up in a ball, and I'm like, oh man, this stuff doesn't work, man. Like, why is it so hard? Why it seems to work for other people but not for me. And but when I obviously also started working, with coaches, I realized that I did not remain faithful. I kept on wavering. I was like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I was here and there. I just was not being faithful to the new story. The reason why you are still experiencing undesirable results is because your old story is running the show. But now when you right now accept the new story, right? And you remain faithful to that new story, the new story is going to start showing in your 3D, whether you like it or love it, because that's the law. And that's the beautiful thing. This is what our clients are also experiencing, because they're like, wow, okay, it does work. It does, of course it does work. It's a law. It does work. It's a law,
Yeah. I love what you've been saying. One of the questions that we got on the community page earlier today was simply, what's the best way to live from the end? What's the best way to remain faithful to the desire? And I love what you said about, just being all in or you're all out. There's no 50-50 in this. That's where even another question said, I'll manifest part way, business success clients come, but then there's no follow through. And so again, it's okay, well, you're 50-50. If you're half in, half out, you're going to get half in, half out desires. You're going to see this progress and seemingly back up, and then progress and back up, because that's simply reflecting what's going on inside of you. And we also experienced that when we first started our coaching business. We had all these calls, and yet no one would follow through and actually sign up for coaching. And we're like, but we're getting all these calls, it's all these potential clients who are very interested, and yet they're not buying. They're not signing up with us. So what's going on there? And we realized at that time, no, we have to be all in. It was this time of transition. And so I love what you're saying, to be all in. And if you're all in, that's the best way to live from the end, because that becomes the only reality that you know. Like Gabriel said, that real world, or whatever you call it, that real world inside.
Yeah, like the 4D, yeah.
The 4D
consciousness.
That's the only reality that you believe in. That's the only reality you trust. So when you see these things in the 3D, you're like, no, that's not real. That's not happening. No, my reality is actually I have all these clients and they love working with me. Or no, my SP is with me. They're not over there. I don't see that. I don't agree with that. And also I think the other component is that accountability. Whether you get a coach or a mentor or even a friend just to kind of help keep you accountable, that's where, you can, it gives you that safe space to, speak from the end. That's why we started that version of our coaching where we use an app where every day we're constantly reminding our clients, like, wow, congrats, we saw that you posted pictures with your SP, or wow, we just saw, you made this big news headline, or, thanks so much for sharing with us that you made another amazing 100K deal today. It's just that accountability, and for the clients to also have that freedom of expression. People ask, like, okay, well, what if, like, my mom's always asking me, when are you getting married? Like, if it feels weird for a lot of people to say, like, oh, I'm already married, even though that's what in the 4D, but in the 3D, your mom will be like, when was the wedding? Where's your partner? It just doesn't make sense. Whereas when you have somebody who's helping keeping you accountable, they completely know what you're talking about. With our clients who are manifesting partners, we're always like, yeah, of course, congrats on your marriage. Oh my gosh, we had so much fun at the wedding. We can't wait to go on more double dates with you. Our clients who are successful are like, yes, congrats on another amazing month. Like, wow, can you believe it? 6 months in a row you've met your goal. And just to have that freedom of expression, I think, is so important, because that brings, I think, the 4D into the 3D by words. When you're speaking a certain way and you're able to express a certain way from the 4D, from the end, that's why I think it makes difference in helping your mind like shift, be like, okay, yes, because this is what I'm speaking.
Every day.
What I'm speaking and what I'm thinking every single day lines up now. And yes, there are times where maybe you know, if your mom asks you, you can just tell her the truth, be like, no, it's coming. It's already done, you know,
Yeah.
it's coming. Or like, yeah, you know, I am successful. Regardless of circumstances, I am a success. And so that's what, yeah, I think is the best way to live from the end. It's just having that accountability and being all in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. Thanks for sharing, baby. And so, guys, it's really, you have to ask yourself, how bad do you want it? You know, how bad do you want it? You have to be all in, and you know, you can even make a decision right now to be all in, and just post in the comments below and tell us, are you going to be all in, or are you still going to be 50-50? And if you could also give us a like, so that YouTube can show this to more people. And now we're going to actually answer all the questions that was posted in the community.
So we've gotten through 2 so far.
Yeah. Okay,
But
cool.
yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna answer all the questions. So you can just read all of them, you know, baby, and the
Yeah.
name as well.
Yeah, so Kenzie, and also I saw somebody in the live also asked this question, but how to manifest multiple desires at once? It's the first question.
Yeah, okay. How to manifest multiple desires at once. Okay, so what I've done, like, I'm just gonna share from my experience, right? I've written everything on a piece of paper, like for example, X, Y, Z, whatever the case may be. I've written them on a piece of paper, and I see what it is, right? And after that, then I just express my gratitude. Isn't it wonderful now that I've manifested all my desires? But I know exactly what it is because I've seen it, right? I've seen it written down. And then I just like express my gratitude. Isn't it wonderful that I've manifested all my desires? And you really like accept that it is done. You know, it's like when you go to the grocery store, when you buy ice cream, you buy meat, you buy vegetables and fruits as well, right? And you know that, okay, cool, boom, it's done. So same principle applies. Write down what, you know, all your multiple desires. As soon as you've written it down, have a look at it, and then just accept that it's a done deal now. And then every day, just express your gratitude, whether you use, isn't it wonderful now that I've manifested all my desires, or I'm so happy and grateful. Really just use something that's natural to you. So if thank you is natural to you, or isn't it wonderful, because you obviously know what feels natural to you. So what is working for me may not work for you, because we make our own rules. We the God of our own reality. So whatever you say goes, you know. Or you could just say that, yeah, I've manifested all my desires last week, and everybody knows. They always congratulate me. Now you know that all your desires has been manifested last week, and you just live from that place that you've now got all your desires. Vegetables, meats, ice cream, and bread as well. Yeah, cool.
And I think, because I also would like to answer.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Because I think another way you could do it is also just with that self-concept. You know, accept that you are a master manifester. You know, if you accept that as your new self-concept, like, okay, if I'm a master manifester, how do I think? How do I feel?
Yeah.
How do I act? If you become that person,
Yeah.
or you can become the person who has it all, you know,
Yeah.
the woman who has everything,
Yeah.
then you know that everything is yours. You're the person, you have it all. You know, you're the person, everything comes easily and effortlessly to me. If that is your new self-concept, that way, you know, whatever desire it is, whether in the moment it comes to you like, oh, I'd love a chocolate bar, and all of a sudden, boom, there's one there. You know, or if it's something we say seemingly bigger that also comes to you, then it's like, oh wow, okay, you know that it's already a done deal, because you're the person who has it all. You're the master manifester. You're the everything comes easy to you in life. Whatever self-concept you want to, again, as Gabriel said, in whatever wording is natural to you, become that person and ask yourself, okay, now that I'm this person, how do I think? How do I feel? How do I act? And you live that way.
Yeah, and also it's very just a quick reminder. Remember, you make your own rules, so whatever you say goes. And we don't just say that lightly. You know, if you say that, whenever I drink water, I manifest all my desires. You know, you can literally make that assumption. So whenever I drink water, I manifest all my. Oh, that's just an example, right? But this is just a reminder to remind you that you make your own rules. So whatever you say goes. And really, you know, test it, because as Neville Goddard says, it works. You know, you are the operant power. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. You get to choose, right? You get to choose what you want. And
What's your take on revision?
oh yeah, revision. So in my book, I've got a nice success story about revision, because my mom was told that she contracted cancer, right? And I just happened to speak to the doctor over the phone. And the doctor told me this over the phone. And then after I've spoken to the doctor, I then revise that conversation with the doctor. And I heard the doctor say that, hey, your mom is perfectly healthy. And I repeated that conversation with the doctor until it felt real. The moment it felt real, I just, boom, I let it go. And then the following month, when my mom had to go for a checkup, guess what the doctor said? Your mom is perfectly healthy. So revision does work. You know, revision does work, because what you do is, because remember, the 3D is malleable. So you can change the 3D. So if you see you've got like $1,000 in your bank account, you can revise that and say, no, there's $10,000. I see $10,000. And you just remain faithful to that news story. No, it's $10,000. It's $10,000. The 3D has to change. The 3D has to reflect your new assumption of $10,000. You know, it's a beautiful thing. So yeah, that's my story about, you know, revision.
Yeah, but so we've used revision. We have a lot of stories. I'm not sure if we made this video specifically about revision, but we should, because we've used it a lot. So we'll definitely check and see if we have done one. We'll definitely repost it.
Yeah.
And if we haven't yet, then we definitely will. All right, so this one, I do really like it. So it says, I notice that sometimes I manifest small things quickly. However, I'm not quite sure how I do it. What are some tips I can use to figure out how my mind works?
Right. Okay. This is a good one.
Open power.
Yes. So everything that you've experienced today was a reflection of your mind. It was a reflection of your mindset. So if you want to see something different appearing in your reality later on or tomorrow, all you have to do is just change your mindset. Now, when it comes to manifesting small things and big things, for example, you know, parking spots and rainbows and hearts and what else? Okay, those are a few words, right? You know, usually when you manifest those things, you're like, yeah, no, I just saw another rainbow. Yeah, I always you know, receive, you know, parking spaces. But the way you say it, it's like, of course, everybody knows. It's like the way you express that is like, yeah, it's my norm. It's my norm. It's my norm. So what that means is you have no resistance when it comes to manifesting these small things. So in other words, you're like, you know, embodying these states that, of course, it's normal for me to manifest these small things. But when it comes to the so-called big stuff, the seemingly big stuff, and then your mind comes and say, no, that's going to take a bit long. That's going to take some time. You want your SP? Nope. That's going to take time. Oh, you want $10,000? No, you're going to have to work for it. So now because remember your old story that someone probably told you this when you were 7 years old or 10 or 15 to say that, no, you know, in order for you to make money, you have to work hard. In order for money to come by, you have to, like, you know, hope and pray that, you know, the moon is not in retrograde and all that stuff. I'm just making an example. But it's when it comes to these big things, we have, like, you know, limiting assumptions that, you know, limit us to say that, oh yeah, no, you can't have this because of this. You can't have this because of this. But when you apply the same principle of, no, it's normal for me to manifest all my desires instantly. So you make a new assumption. You say, it's normal for me to manifest all my desires instantly. It's my norm. But you really have to make this new assumption your new story. You can't just say it once and then okay, well, I'm just going to speak from my experience, right? I always thought that, oh yeah, you just have to kind of say, you know, these assumptions once and then it's going to work. For me, at least for me, Kylie, and our clients, is that we actually realize that the reason why you're not seeing your manifestations come to play is because the old story is still running the show. But when you replace the old story in your mind and say, no, it's normal for me to manifest my desire with ease. It's normal for me to manifest, you know, millions of dollars. It's normal for me to always win the lottery. And you like saturate your mind with these new assumptions. And then you then see that the 3D starts to conform. But with me, I always thought that, oh, you just say it once and then, you know, it happens. Well, it wasn't that easy, you know, for me. I was like, oh, okay, I had to replace my old story because this old story has been created since I was born. So I literally had to like switch, you know, channels and replace the old story and bury it 100 feet underground and just say that, no, I don't want anything to do with you anymore. I'm now just going to focus on my new story, saturate my mind with my new story, feed my new self-concept. I don't want anything to do with this old man anymore, right? So you have to like literally like, you know, be all in. So to answer that question, just tell yourself it's normal for you to manifest all your desires with ease. And you know, when you say it's normal, you mean like, yes, of course it's normal for me to receive anything, you know, for that matter. It's normal for you to like, you know, breathe fresh air. It's normal for you to open the tap and then water comes out. You know, it's normal for you just to, you know, whatever is your norm, just make it, you know, your norm. Just make it your norm and really accept that it is your new truth. You will see your 3D will start, you know, conforming to that new assumption.
Yeah, I appreciate what you said there about how, you know, our story is essentially made up from our earliest memories and even before that, you know, our ways of life, things people told us. And I love it ties to one of the questions someone asked in the live of just how, you know, someone said they would never find love or something along those lines. Like, is that true? Is it not true? And it's up to you to accept it or not. You know, it's the same like when you read, as Gabriel said, like a horoscope. It's up to you to accept that or not. It's up to you to accept the old story or a new story. And you can change the story tomorrow and the next day and the next day if you want. You know, you can, as Gabriel said, the 3D is malleable. You can change it however and whenever you want to. So, yes, sometimes it does take time because, you know, you might have 30 years of one story playing and now you're going to change it to a new story. It's like that old story is quite well ingrained and developed because it's had 30 years to do so. However, it's not impossible.
And
I mean, we've done it so many times.
Yeah, and it may not even take that much time. It may not even take time. It may even happen like that.
Yeah.
Because you make the rules. You can tell yourself, now, I always manifest all my desires instantly. So that can be your new rule. Remember, you are God. You're the God of your reality, right? So you make the rules, and yeah. So what the advice that we can give you is just whenever you make a rule, remain faithful to that rule. Do not waver. If you say that you manifest all your desires instantly, remain faithful to that new story until it starts showing up into your 3D. And then boom, okay, cool, it's locked in now. Because now you've shifted your self-concept. So don't just do it once and then forget about it, but you have to do it constantly, every single day. Every single day. As Kylie said, that with our coaching business, we were also like wishy-washy, do it now and then, but then we were like, oh, we got wishy-washy results, and we were like, oh, okay, we have to be all in. We have to be all in, and now we're waking up to new clients every day. Which is a beautiful thing, because we just said that no more playing games, no more playing games. We're gonna go all in, because I know, right? I've manifested my beautiful wifey. I knew I had to be all in. I manifested like huge, big dreams. Dream cars, dream apartment. Lots of money. Even the lotto as well. So I know, I should know, right? But yet, I still forget. I still forget, and then because like every day I read our clients' success stories every single day, because you know why? It's so easy to forget. That's why I read it every single day, because it's so easy to forget. Because I constantly have to remind myself what is possible. I constantly have to remind myself. Okay.
So the next question, I'm just going to revise it, because we don't like doing questions that are specific to specific medical conditions, because we're not doctors. We can't really supplement medical advice. But I like the other part of the question, though, that says, do you guys manifest for others? And we do indeed. All the time.
All the time. Yeah, all the time. I mean, so how we manifest for others, we manifest for our family members, our friends, and our clients as well. So just before we go to bed, we'll express our gratitude that all our family members, our friends, and clients are perfectly healthy, wealthy, and happy. So every day we'll do that. So when we do that, it means that we see all our family members, friends, relatives as healthy, happy, and wealthy. And guess what? When we came back from Canada, because I'm from Johannesburg, so we first had to go to Johannesburg to see all my family members and friends. And when we went to each and every family member, they were all thriving, man.
Sure.
They were all thriving, vibrant, glowing, beautiful skin, man.
New jobs.
New jobs.
New
It was
cars,
a beautiful
new
thing.
places to
And
live.
Kylie and I, we were like, oh man, whoa, we were just
Well,
celebrating.
it took us like a moment to realize.
Yeah, you're right.
Because we'd say, to some people would be like, see, we told you this would happen.
Yeah.
And then, we'd leave this group of family members, and it's like, do you realize they're all doing great?
Yeah.
Do you see that? It was just this, like, afterwards reflection, be like, everyone, in this one, in that one. And we're like, everybody's thriving.
Everybody's thriving, yeah.
Oh, it was incredible.
Yeah. And also, I had this friend of mine and his wife. So he was always complaining that, oh man, I'm not getting a promotion. I don't know what's happening. I told him that you already got the promotion. I said, you already got the promotion. Congratulations. He was like, what you talking about? I'm like, I speak shit into existence. Whatever I say goes. Don't worry. It's a done deal. And he's like, well, yeah, we'll see about that. And then, a month later, a couple of months later, he's like, yo, bro, they promoted me. And then his wife was also supposed to be promoted, right? And she was like a little bit not skeptical, but she was like a little bit nervous.
She didn't want to get her hopes too high.
She was like, no, I don't want to get my hopes too high. I said, hey, tell your wife, Kylie and I congratulate her. She already got that promotion. It's done. We speak shit into existence. And then he said, yeah, he loves. He's like, I'll tell her. Boom, he tells her. I speak to him like 4 days ago.
Yeah.
He tells me that his wife also got a promotion. I said, of course.
We told you.
We speak shit into existence. Whatever we say goes, because we the operant power. We the God of our reality. So yes, we love manifesting for others. Yeah.
And even for our clients, like we said, we're in daily communication with them. And so any of our clients that sign up, whatever their desire is, that's how we see them. And so by relating to them from the end, to them from their desire, that's manifesting for them. that's helping them realize their dreams, because they're also within our reality. So we can use our manifestation mastery that we all have, but we also use that just to see them in their ideal. And it's just this wonderful thing, because we know they see us in our ideal and vice versa, and it's a beautiful cycle.
Yeah, it's a beautiful cycle. Yeah, it's so beautiful. And especially doing it for others, because it's like taking the focus away from you, and when you do it for others, even if you don't have to tell them, but just that love that you, and that confirmation that you are indeed the operant power.
Yeah.
It's easier said than done. It's easier to say it. Yeah, I'm the operant power. I'm God and all that. But to experience it, man, it's another thing to experience it. So we do advise you guys to try it out with your family, with your friends, and your clients if you've got your own business as well. It's awesome. We do it every single day and morning. It's just part of our morning celebration ritual. We call it our morning celebration ritual.
Alright, so this one is related to manifestation, sort of, but I can kind of relate it back. So they have an SP, and suddenly they're attracted towards someone else. How to manifest the SP or the crush? How do you choose in this difficult situation?
Right.
And I think it goes back to just, what do you want? What do you really want?
I was going to say that, yeah. I was going to say that, baby, yeah.
Yeah, elaborate.
Yeah, so you ask yourself, what do you really, really want? What do you really, really want in a partner? What do you want? And just become clear. That's why I wrote down on a piece of paper when I manifested my wife, because that gave me clarity, right? Even in our SP course, like the first day, it's all about clarity, because once you're clear, you know exactly when you go to the grocery store, I have to buy fruits, vegetables, meat, cheese, and salt. So now you're clear. You're not like wishy-washy, wavering.
You're not wandering through
like,
the aisles. Yeah. Do I need this? What else did I need?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, you're clear. You boom. Like, so you really have to ask yourself, what do you want? If you want, a vegetarian, that's spiritual, then you just assume that you have that. And then the 3D will then respond accordingly. So whether it's the other SP or this SP or whoever knows, will just, respond, accordingly, because you don't have to do anything. Like Neville Goddard says, you don't have to lift a finger. You do not have to lift a finger. You just have to accept that it's done. You have to accept that you are already in Barbados and you went first class. Even though you're in New York, you see tall skyscrapers and like you're in a city and all, like, no. You are in Barbados and you went first class. And then everything will just rearrange itself. Environment, people, and conditions as well.
And how can I find my life purpose?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one.
We talked about that today.
Yeah, I talked about. You know what? Like, for the longest time, I searched so long for my life purpose, man. I'd spend years and years. I went through, psychics, astrologers, astrologers. They read the stars and the moon and all these things. I went through the whole shebang because I wanted to find out as well, what is my purpose? And I paid all these people and they still couldn't tell me. You know what I mean? They could not tell me. But the advice that I can give you is ask yourself, right now, if you could be, do, or have anything that gives you the ultimate joy right now. What? And you cannot fail. You cannot fail. So if you could be, do, have anything that gives you the ultimate joy right now, and you cannot fail, what is that? The first thing that comes to you, write it down. Whether that's usually the first thing that comes to you, just, write it down. So just really ask yourself, if you could be, do, or have anything in this life that gives you the ultimate joy and you cannot fail, what is that? So whatever you're writing down, then, go for it. Go for it. Because remember, if it gives you joy, you're not going to work a day in your life. So now I love what I do now. I mean, I can do this for hours and hours and hours and hours, because it gives me joy, just to share experiences and to remind you guys of the power that is within us. It's a beautiful thing. So to answer that question, yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, I remember I was in a time of transition just before we started working together. And, one season of life was coming to an end and a new one starting. And I was like, I don't know what I want to do. And Gabriel asked me that question. And it gave me so much anxiety. I was like, I don't know. Like, I had no clue. And so for me, I went for something more, and we talked about it, but went for more like overarching. And it's just to love. Love myself, love life, love people. And that helped me to say, okay, how can I love people best? How can I love myself best? How can I love life best? And that became kind of part of the journey of like, okay, well, career-wise, doing the coaching business together, working together, doing that side of things together. Okay, and how else can I love people best? Like with my gifts, my skills, my abilities. How can I do that? How can I love life to the fullest? And so for me, like, I think for everyone deep down, the purpose is just to love people. I mean, I know for Gabriel, like, he loves doing this. There's sometimes I have to say, like, okay, we're going to do a live, but okay, we can't go too long today, please. Like, let's just, or even our coaching calls. So many of them go overtime because he just loves sharing and listening and helping. And, that's literally just his way to show people he loves them. And it's the same, like, how best can I love my family? How best can I love my friends, my husband, our clients? How best can I just love life in general? And I think that's what we're all made to do. How best can we love the world, whether it be through your career, through your hobbies, whatever it might be. I think that's kind of everyone's overarching purpose.
Yeah. Okay, is there like all the questions done? Okay, awesome stuff. Yeah, that was cool. So
I like that question for last, because I was like, whoa, that's a big one.
Okay. and also, like, what I would also want to add to that as well is just, when you love yourself as well, when you really love yourself, life loves you back, because your external reality is simply reflecting your mindset. So if your new mindset is really loving yourself, and what I mean by loving yourself is, accepting yourself, being kind to yourself, having compassion to yourself, and not judging yourself. Because remember, we were all brought up to judge ourselves, to just put ourselves down and all that stuff. But really, take that time to actually, like, with even with our clients as well, we, like, our first module is all about falling in love with the power within you, knowing that it really actually exists, not just saying it, and also falling in love with your human experience, with your human self, really accepting yourself. Like, Kylie and I, we usually when we do our morning and evening celebration, rituals, we hug ourselves, and we feel the love in our hearts. We feel the love in our hearts. We hug ourselves. We give ourselves a big hug. Just say, and we really feel, that love. Not just saying it, we just really feel. And we just say, I love myself. I love you, Gabriel. I love my body. And we kiss ourselves. We kiss ourselves. It's a beautiful thing, because as I said, like, I mean, I was brought up to freaking hate myself, but so I'm just so grateful that I'm now able to actually have compassion on myself, irrespective of what's happening in my mind. To be kind to myself, to accept myself for who I am right now, to love myself, because I know for a fact, now that I love myself, my life loves me back. And it's a beautiful thing, it's a beautiful thing, so.
There was one more question that I forgot about, but I just remembered about.
Yeah.
A person wants to know how to manifest a large sum of money by the weekend.
All right, okay. Fair
So
enough.
on a time crunch.
On a time crunch, yeah. So, I like these questions because this is a good reminder to actually remind us who we really are. We are not just this body, like the body is just the vessel. We're more than that. We're not just our names, we're not just our thoughts and our feelings, but we are that awareness that is now being aware of the thoughts, the feelings, the body, and the name as well. Or you can call it consciousness, you can call it the I am, God. Now, this power is within us and it's around us, right? And now that's who we are. This is our true self, right? And so that your 3D is simply reflecting your mindset. So whatever you tell yourself in your mindset is going to reflect outside. So if you tell yourself now that you're abundant and that you have thousands of dollars in your bank account and you remain faithful to that, guess what? It has to show up in your 3D reality. Whether it's today, this weekend, next week, next month, I don't know. Obviously, it's your reality. I don't know your reality. But so there is no time in the 4D, and the 4D is your mind. You can spend $10,000 right now in your imagination. You can go to any of your favorite stores and spend it in your imagination, and it will feel real. It will feel real to you. The reason why it will feel real is your body cannot tell the difference. Your body cannot tell the difference, right? And so, now what that tells you is that everything is being created twice. First being created in your mind, in your imagination, and then afterwards it shows up in your 3D. So, if we had to answer this question, all you need to do is accept that you are abundant now and that you have thousands and thousands of dollars in your bank account right now. And your 3D, but I have to remind you, you have to remain faithful to this new story. You have to remain faithful to this new story and saturate your mind with this new story, and do not waver. Do not waver. What I mean by waver is you're looking for validation in the 3D, or you're looking for your results in the 3D. You should know that your results is already, it's a done deal. Creation is finished. So whatever you tell yourself goes, because you're the operant power. Yes, as I said, that I can't tell you if it's going to happen this week, and it's your reality. But what I can tell you is that it has to reflect. Whether you like it or love it, it has to reflect, because it's a law. Your job is to remain faithful to the new story. And then the new story will then just reflect in the 3D, which is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, I used to always try to manifest on a time crunch, like I'm going to manifest this by this date. But then that essentially just implies that I don't have it now. And if I don't have it now, I won't have it tomorrow, and I won't have it the next day. I need to accept that I have it now in order for it to show up in my 3D reality, maybe in a few minutes, a few hours, a few days, a few weeks, a few months from now. But I need to accept that I have it already. So if you're trying to manifest by the weekend, you don't need to try to manifest it, except you already have it. That way, you're not like, as Gabriel said, not looking to the 3D, be like, well, there's only 24 hours left, 12 hours left, I still don't see it, like, that's, again, as you said, that's where comes that stress, that anxiety, when you're trying to control the how. You just accept that you already have it and watch it unfold. And so, I learned to not manifest on a time, because to me, it just didn't make sense eventually. if I'm trying to manifest this by the end of the month, I'm telling myself I don't have this.
You're in a lack state of lack.
Yes, you're in a state of lack, you're in a state of,
Not having.
despair. Whereas if I say, okay, if I want this by the end of the month, well, I already have it. That way I shift myself into that abundance, into having, and therefore there's no stress because I already have it. There's no anxiety, there's no worries because I have it.
It's so powerful, baby. It's so
So,
powerful, man.
We always kind of advise, like, don't put it on a time because time doesn't exist. If you already have it now, so why does it matter if you get it by the weekend? You have it now.
Yeah.
It takes time, obviously, to accept this and allow it to sink in. It took me time, I know.
Yeah,
I'd always
exactly.
tell Gabriel, but I want this by this date.
Yeah.
But really, if you want it by that date, you tell yourself you don't have it today.
Yeah, and then you're always going to live in the future of not having it.
Yeah.
And as Kylie said, that causes so much anxiety and
You
stress.
should have seen me
Man,
those days.
it causes so much anxiety and stress, and it's so unnecessary because you don't have to put yourself through that. Because remember, you are already in Barbados, and you went first class.
Yeah.
It's done. Creation is finished. Your job is just to remain faithful and not to waver, not to doubt, just to remain faithful. Even though your 3D says, no, you're not in Barbados, don't talk crap, then you tell your 3D, nope, fake news, I am in Barbados because I am the operant power. Whatever I say goes. So you have these conversations with your 3D, and your 3D is going to say that, okay, he is aware now, he's switched on. He knows who he is. He is the God of his reality. Okay. And it's just going to become easier and easier and easier.
Yep.
So don't let the 3D bully you, you know what I mean? The 3D used to bully us as well, man, and our minds and stuff like that. And we're like, oh man. But then it was like, it's all good. You just have to don't fight the 3D. Just tell the 3D, nah, it's all good, man. It's all good, bro. I've already got my results. I'm already in Barbados, man. I'm already in Barbados. It's all good. And the 3D is gonna say, okay, cool. No. He's switched on now. He's aware that he is. He's finally woke up. And he finally knows who he is. That he is the God of his reality. So thank you so much for everybody. Sharing their questions, and just for everybody on the live, we do appreciate each and every one of you guys. It's all awesome to always come on here, and just to share. And if you need help, we do offer one-on-one coaching where we work with you, as Kylie said, on a daily basis to remind you that you are already in Barbados and you're in first class. But we make it fun as well, and it's just so awesome. You can find all the details in the description.
Yeah, we also have a Manifest Money course, Manifest Your SP course. We have a mini course to help you shift your self-concept. Gabriel has his book. We do email coaching. We've tried to make ourselves as accessible as possible to everyone. Everyone's schedules, bank accounts. Even though you're all thriving, you all have time freedom, but you know how it goes.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, guys. We love
thank you so
all,
much.
and we'll catch you on the next one. As always, keep smiling and enjoy your blissful day.
I love you and appreciate you.